I am sure that your family and your boss and your coworkers and your friends, they're just all lovely people. But just in case, I'm gonna leave this little video about boundaries right here. Hey there, welcome or welcome back. I'm Dee and I'm a certified coach, and a few years ago I got really serious about my physical, mental, and emotional well-being, and I learned to set some pretty good boundaries. But you see, I'm also I tend to be a little bit of a people pleaser if I'm not careful. So it's important to me to most of the time set boundaries in a way that's polite and respectful and leaves me feeling better at the end of the situation and not worse. So I put together a few of those strategies and I want to share them with you today. Choose your battles. I think of boundaries like literally a fence. Makes sense. The word boundaries, it's like your limits, and it's the fence around your property. And only you get to choose who gets to come into the fence and who's invited and who is not. Basically, what's over the line and what's okay with you. There's a lot of ideas about what should be over the line and what you should be offended by, but sometimes they just don't offend you and you really don't care. You're totally fine to let those things go. And then there could be other things that people are like, oh, who cares? You're overreacting. But to you, they're a big deal. That's okay. That's your line. I tune into this and have gotten to know myself better by actually listening to my physical body about it. Where is it that when somebody does or says something that just crosses the line for you, where do you feel it? For instance, for me, I get like a fight or flight type kind of energy in my legs, like here, whenever somebody does or says something that's over the line for me. And I feel that tenseness in my legs, and I know it's time for me to open up a can of respectful dialogue and categorize others. There can be a fence within a fence within a fence within a fence. A lot of times people want us to treat everyone the same, and we're worried about being a hypocrite, or we're worried about how it appears. Guess what? I will put people in their category based on how close I want them to be to me. And I don't do that based on how closely related they are or how long we've known each other. There are people who get into the inner sanctum. There are people who are not. That's totally fine and actually really healthy. So doing both of those things, knowing yourself and putting people into categories, helps you with the biggest piece, which is thinking about what you're gonna say. Like, what are you actually gonna say? And I think one of the best strategies to figure that out is to start by assuming the best in others. What if this person is doing the absolute best they can with what they have? You'll find that most people who love you do want what's best for you, but there are groups of people out there who can only really see other people's situation from their own lens of experience. And there are people who either aren't familiar with the idea of setting boundaries, or they themselves are not good at setting boundaries, and so therefore they kind of clumsily trample all over other people's boundaries. If we start from a place of assuming they are doing their best, it doesn't mean we tolerate it without saying something or without holding our own boundary, but it does help us to maybe say it in a way that comes from a place of compassion and understanding rather than being rude on accident or being intolerant ourselves. So coming from that place, you can start to pre-think of some scripts that you might want to use that feel good to you, they're simple, and give a quick explanation of where you're coming from and what it is okay and what is not okay with you. Here are a couple of examples. Right now, I'm keeping that private, but I can tell how much you care, and I really do appreciate that. Or even something super jokey. I didn't come to talk about politics, I didn't prepare or anything, I'm just here for pie. When you stay tuned in to what's important to you, you know what is over the line, what is not over the line, and you know the person you're dealing with, what category are they in. And you have scripts ready for those not okay moments that help you to walk away feeling like you held your boundary, but also knowing that you were respectful and polite and honored yourself. You can practice healthy boundary setting without alienating the people you love. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you got anything out of it, give it a like. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. I do appreciate you so much. And until the next one, be well.